Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the George Madiou Show. My name is Russ Devan, and each week we have spectacular entertainment and guests and education and information and training on this show. That is the purpose of it. And today we have double that. We actually have two very special guests today that you're going to hear from. I'm going to have our host introduce them. But I know a little bit about them because I've been reading their backgrounds, and I'm so excited to meet them and have them here. And I'm excited for you to meet them too. Now, it's always my privilege every week to be able to introduce the host of this show. We've known each other we've known of each other for really more than 3 decades. But in the last 2 years, we've become very close friends. From my standpoint, more like brothers. And George, I think, feels that way too. And we're both, I think part of that is that we're both on a mission. We both have a commitment to create something special in the world, utilizing the system of distribution that's pretty well misunderstood called network marketing. From George's view, it's to shift the image and get the stigma away from network marketing and what it is, to really have it work for people. He has this thing called the 27% Club, which I'll let him explain to you, but really it's about the percentage of people who are engaged in network marketing that haven't given up on it yet. They're not in the top 3% of people who succeed, and 2 of that 3% have no idea how. And they're not in the 70% that have just pretty much given up or just going through the motions. They're people who are eager to learn, to explore, to create new possibilities for network marketing working. And that's what the Network Marketing Magazine is all about. George is the founder and the owner of the Network Marketing Magazine. His wonderful wife, Debbie, is the president. And he's committed to 1 million subscribers in the next 3 years. And one of the purposes of this show is to enroll you in that mission. 1 million subscribers to the Network Marketing Magazine will shift the landscape for network marketing on a global basis. For myself, with tongue in cheek, I say I've had a love-hate relationship with network marketing distribution that has lasted 42 years. It has worked for me in extraordinary ways. It's been a huge contribution to my life, and I'm committed to it. But for the last 32 years, Success by Design, my company, has been out to shift how it's taught and done, to create a new model for how it can be trained that works for people, create a new possibility for network marketing working for people. That's what Success by Design is all about. And I'm using that methodology and that strategy to create my life's legacy so that I'm known for doing something different and significant in the world. And that's my niche. So George is an entrepreneur. You'll get that immediately. It's just like you'll get his very dry and subtle Long Island sense of humor. He is brilliant. He is an entrepreneur. He is an author. He's a great guy. He's a funny guy. He's a great friend. He's owned 36 businesses in 6 different industries, but his swan song, his love and his commitment is the Network Marketing Magazine. So without further ado, I introduce to you the host of the George Madiou Show, the great Mr. George Madiou.
Thank you. Thank you, Russ. You know, I'm blessed because I have gotten to know some incredible leaders in the network marketing industry, not the least of who is the person that just gave me that great opening. And, when I met Russ, we knew of one another, like he said, for decades, really. But when I met him, I realized that over the months, I finally found something that I was looking for years. And that was, who was the character that John Milton Fogg wrote about in The Greatest Networker in the World? And that was our own Russ Devan. Just a brilliant person in this industry that has taught thousands, if not tens of thousands of people who wanted to learn how to succeed in this just absolutely awesome business. Well, I'm really excited today. I mean, real excited. We've got a great surprise at the end of the show, and I'm just really anxious for you to hear from our guests, Lisa Wilbur and Jeff West, because these two have teamed up and are responsible for this incredible book that's going to be launching real soon called Said the Lady with the Blue Hair. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But my friend Lisa, I've known for years. And when I think of, I mean, one of the top 5, if not one of the top 3 women network marketers that I've known, Lisa Wilbur is probably right at the top, right? Lisa was named Avon's Woman of Enterprise, the top honor given to independent representatives by the company Avon. She has also been included in numerous times on the 50 most influential people in direct sales list and earned Avon's Yellow Rose of Courage and other awards, including being named the top female network marketer in the world and voted the Ambitious Woman's Choice Award. All those accolades, I mean, it could not have been pinned on a better person. The thing that I love Lisa most about is the fact that she has a heart for the people that she works with and her team and her customers. She teamed up with just an incredible guy. Jeff West is the award-winning author of the heartwarming sales fable, The Unexpected Tour Guide. Jeff is just a prolific author. He is a businessman, a top businessman in a number of industries, and one of them really a top member of the insurance industry. So these two people really have created a team that I'm really excited about, as far as something that we're going to end up talking to you about this. What do you think, Lisa? Yeah. Okay. So, Jeff, Lisa, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
So one of the first things that I want to know is how in the world did you two get together?
Oh, Jeff's going to let me tell. Yeah, we happen to both be in Bob Berg's Go Giver Success Alliance. And one of the first meetings that I was on, this was probably a year and a half ago now, I happened to have blue hair. And why I had blue hair is because I always wanted to do that just once in my life. Haven't you ever wanted to do something crazy? So that was my crazy moment of blue hair. And I was on this call, and on the Success Alliance, there's some pretty impressive folks on there. I mean, some attorneys, some architects and stuff. And I thought I ought to say something because I'm sitting there with blue hair. So I thought, well, I'll just, make a joke of it. So I said, if you want to have less judgment in your life, you should dye your hair blue, because I'm telling you, it's working for me. When I go down to the grocery store and I see a lady in a tight skirt, I'm thinking to myself, look at that lady in the tight skirt, said the lady with the blue hair. So it makes me less judgmental. And when I said that on Bob Berg's Zoom call, I looked in the comment section, and Jeff had written, you ought to do a book with that as the title. And so go ahead, your turn.
Well, it has just been such a wonderful blessing to get to know Lisa over the last year and a half. And my favorite thing to do, I've retired from the corporate world about 8 years ago. And my favorite thing by far to do is to write, and I'd rather write parables. I've written the cut and dried sales books as well, but I love writing parables. Fiction is fun, especially when you make it something with really good lessons. And being friends with Bob Berg and with John David Mann, who together did the Go Giver series, I talked to them about the business model they did. And I decided I was going to start reaching out. And the very first person I reached out to was Lisa, because I had gotten to know her. I know her heart, and we talked. We had visited about it. She at first, I think, reluctantly agreed, but she did agree. And I said, let's take the things that you teach your organization that's made you successful. Let's narrow that down to some principles that we can work with, and let's turn that into a really great story that's going to mean something to people. And that blessing, that partnership just worked out really well. We talk a lot of times now, even if we really don't have a lot that we need to cover, because we've just enjoyed that friendship and that partnership that's developed. And I can't say enough about the lady that I tell her, I said, you're the star of the show. I'm your co-star. It's like George Burns and Gracie Allen. My job is to sit here and be your straight man, and I'll be fine.
That's awesome. That is really awesome. So you've got a project, and what's interesting about the project is it comes with a team. And I'm proud to say I'm part of the team.
Yeah.
We're proud you're part of the team too.
So tell us about the team, and tell us how, first of all, give us a synopsis of, said the lady with blue hair. And after you give us that, I want to know, your strategy with your team. It's awesome.
Why don't you do the synopsis, Jeff, and I'll
Okay.
do the strategy, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That's how we work. Well, the synopsis of the story, in interview, when Lisa and I were talking about the partnership, I said, what's the main passion you have about what you do now? What are you trying to do? And we got to talking about how she really has a heart for mentoring other women and putting them in positions where they, regardless of how life goes for them, that they're always okay and that they always have a way to take care of life. And so it kind of began that way. But the story itself it starts off in Hawaii, on Poipu Beach on the island of Kauai. And it's a story of Kai Frazier. And Kai is an unexpectedly single mom who has a 10-year-old daughter named Michaela. And she is in a position in life that she'd never thought she'd be in, where she has to restart alone as a single mother. And she's scared. She's concerned about what she's going to do as far as making a living and still being able to have the time with her daughter that she wants. And while she's in Hawaii, she notices an unusual person, a lady sitting on the beach, gorgeous lady with long flowing blue hair. And at first, Kai's a little judgmental about it. She's seeing that and she's thinking, well, I don't know if I would do that. But over the next day or so, she actually gets to meet the lady. And the lady is Belle, our mentor, and she is the lady with the blue hair. And she and Kai develop a friendship. It turns into a mentorship. And then she guides Kai along her choices and what she's going to do. And she doesn't try to get Kai to make specific choices. She actually guides her in making her own choices about what fits with her values. And we go into a direct sales career, not actually with the same direct sales company that Belle's with. Belle has built one of the largest direct sales teams in the world. And she mentors Kai from a perspective of how much she cares about what's going on in the lady's life. And as the story develops, we've got characters that are funny, that will entertain you. We've got some romantic tension that comes into the mix. We've got parts of the story will get you teary-eyed, even if you're a guy. It's just going to do that. But it has some surprises, and it's become one of those things. I almost hated it when we finished the final chapter because I knew I was going to miss the characters because I fell for them myself. And so we're getting some wonderful, kind endorsements. It has been a true labor of love. I will tell you that. And I think the story is going to be one that catches on and is remembered for a long time.
That's awesome. You're up, Lisa.
Oh, I'm up. Okay. So sadly, I thought that I found out this recently. I thought Jeff knew that marketing was my thing. So when we were working on the story together, I kept thinking, as soon as he's done, I'm up to bat. So I'm making plans all over the place. I have my notebook, I'm getting my army ready, because to me, that's the way I've always tackled the project, including building my direct sales business or selling Girl Scout cookies or winning a week at camp, is build an army and have my army help me. So I knew that we needed to start building the army for this launch. And I didn't realize that Jeff was unaware that I knew how to do marketing. Which kind of is awesome because he thinks I'm like a magician over it, but it's actually, I've done all of this stuff before. It's what I love. But to me, it never, me individually or the kid individually selling Girl Scout cookies was never as effective as me getting an army of people to help sell with me. And I guess that's my direct sales background, but I've done that on every book launch that I've been involved in. On, when we won a video contest of to earn a free week at camp, we did it with an army of people. So I knew with this, that's what we wanted to do. So I opened the group page, and actually, I think Jeff thought I probably did it a little too early, but I said, hey, you can't build an army in a week here. We got to get going. So we started about a month ago, I think it was, and we just hit the 1,000 member mark.
Wow.
And part of our team spirit is to get everybody involved. So we want to have everybody using all of their senses. So one of the things we do is I'm sending out wristbands. I've got about 750 I'm sending out. And I'm asking people to take pictures of themselves with their wristband and put it on social and tag us and use our hashtag, said the lady with the blue hair. And also I have a frame for their profile picture on Facebook. But we have all kinds of things we're doing together. We're starting our weekly show that we're going to do a half hour every Thursday evening. And we've got more things that we're going to roll out over time to keep everybody engaged. And we're going to show them how they can help us launch this book to more people.
That's great. That's great. There, actually, how many other people on the team beside you, Jeff, and me? Is Peg on the team?
Peg's on.
I can tell. Anybody else?
Yeah, Deborah's on. I see Deborah. Deanna's on. Yeah. Deanna actually won one of the, she did guest a contest we were doing for when we would hit a certain number of members, and Deanna's on the team too. So
she nailed that guess exactly too. I want her to start picking stocks for me.
I just want her to pick football scores for me. So, all the members of the team, I'm sure they know you with this incredible background in network marketing and direct sales. And when you and I first met, I mean, we knew each other before we met, but we finally met at an event where you were speaking, and I had the privilege of, because I'm really a big kahuna in the industry, I had the privilege of babysitting your child.
Oh, can I tell that? That's funny.
Yeah, go ahead.
That is so funny. Okay, so I'm sure all the moms can relate, maybe some of the dads too, but that was actually the first trip I went on with just me and the kid. I usually brought my mom, and she helped me watch when I was on stage or something. That was the first trip I had arranged for a sitter ahead at the hotel. Well, after day one, which I had sat with George and Bill Gans that day at a table, and the that night when I got back at the hotel room, the sitter quit. She said, no, your kid's too hard to get along with. I'm not doing it. I'm not coming back tomorrow. And I didn't have time to get somebody else. So I, of course, threatened the kid and I said, listen, you're going to go with me tomorrow and you're going to sit there and behave yourself. And I looked at George and Bill and I'm like, I'm really sorry, but when I go on stage, can you kind of like make sure this doesn't all go bad? And they were good sports about it. But that was also the event that Zig Ziglar was there.
Yeah.
And I didn't know at the time I did my presentation that he saw me, or I probably would have been able to do it. I'd have froze. But it was awesome. And you did a very good job. Nothing happened. The kid didn't set anything on fire. Thank you.
No, yeah, it was, Bill and I couldn't understand what was the big deal with this babysitter, you know? She's not qualified to watch a dog, you know? I mean, give me a break. This kid was great. You know, we
They
had a
didn't-
lot of fun. And
they didn't have
there was
clear
no
dot com
matches
back then.
involved. We didn't set anything on
didn't-
fire.
They didn't have care.com back then. So this was just a random person that a friend recommended.
Yeah, so yeah, and that event on my personal Facebook page, the picture on that page was at that event with the third most prolific writer in the network marketing magazine. That was Zig Ziglar, and so that was a great event. So, you know, one of the things that I've always enjoyed watching you is the success that you exude, and the fact that how you handle and treat the people that you come in contact with, whether or not they're on your team, whether or not they're just strangers, whether or not somebody in your group has introduced you to, you know, a brand new person that, you know, one of your members wants to have them enjoy who they look up to. And I've watched this for years. And, you know, to me, first of all, having you on the show today, and Jeff, because he's wise enough to team up with you, right? and matter of fact, I had noticed that the president of my company was on, and she just got off, and that's my wife. And so Jeff and I are smart like that. You know, we know who to hook up with. But you know, the thing is that what Russ ended up saying in the very beginning about our emphasis of taking this enormous industry, the best industry that I've been involved in out of 6 of them, you know, there's no reason why direct sales and network marketing should have a black eye. And unfortunately, we've had some nasty people, you know, give the industry a black eye. And one of the things amongst many is that I love about you is that you epitomize what's great about this industry. And the
you.
fact that you have won so many awards, not only within your company, Avon, all right? You know, you've won international awards that span lots and lots of different companies, you know? And so I'm just really excited that you're on and we get to have this conversation. But Jeff, do you have anything else to add before I start spinning around the room?
Well, one of the things that has been kind of a side blessing, I think, that's involved in Lisa and I co-authoring the book is the lessons that she has already been teaching, the things that she's already been doing, just like you described there. They are applicable in so many ways. And I know in network marketing, when you got a potential recruit that you're trying to get some understanding to happen inside them, or they're a new person on your team, these lessons that Lisa has been teaching for decades work perfectly into everything that you're trying to get accomplished, where you can retain those new people and get them to understand things like investing in their business and doing the things that we all know will make you successful in any business, but especially in network marketing. That as we've developed the book, I knew Lisa was huge in Avon. I remember Googling her for the first time and going, wow, this is bigger than I thought. Because I just knew her from our interaction. But she's amazing, and the lessons that she's been teaching, it's going to be great recruiting material, a great new team member material for so many people. It's going to help a lot of people, and that comes down. Yeah, I helped her with a great story, but this is Lisa coming through, so that's exciting.
Yeah, it's amazing, because what our industry furnishes those of us that are willing to learn the lessons. Now, this is a lady that joined the industry at the age of 18, 10 years ago.
I was going to say about 10 years ago.
Maybe a little.
I was going to say, wait a
Here I
minute.
thought she had some time in.
People can do math. Don't get crazy.
The thing is that what she knows, it's funny. Lisa and I had a 15-minute conversation yesterday on the phone, which turned out to be a 2.5-hour conversation. So I understand, Jeff, where you're at. But the thing is that my wife and I, on our next anniversary, will be married 45 years. And, if you're prone to pray, I would ask for prayer for Debbie, being an entrepreneur's wife, a serial entrepreneur's wife, because she was there every step of the way. And when we started this month, 17 years ago, at the Network Marketing Magazine, she was helping along, but she had left and helped this young guy that started a new gymnastics school. She applied everything that she had learned in this network marketing journey into this guy's business. And it was incredible. I had a conversation with Russ at one point, and I said, I'm going to ask Debbie to become the president of the company. I said, you're gonna love her. I mean, she's helped this young guy grow $1 million gymnastics school. And I didn't realize she had walked by my office and heard that, and she laughed. And when I got off with Russ, I said, what's so funny? I said, she goes, well, we've just gotten our numbers for the fiscal year. I said, oh, what were they? Are they were $1.3 million, $1.5 million? She goes, 5.4 million. I said, holy cow. I said, would you please become the president of the Network Marketing Magazine? And the point of the story is that the skill sets that she had learned, I mean, we were in lots of businesses, like Russ said, but the skill sets that she learned in network marketing were applicable to most businesses, right? And I see Lisa just like that. I mean, she just brings that wisdom out and is able to share it with others, especially young women who may have never been in business before. Now they find themselves in a direct sales business. And she is such a cheerleader and a teacher and a coach. It's just absolutely exciting. So I'm going to take a break, because I know my friend Rusty, and he is probably squirming at this point with the questions that he wants to ask. Go ahead, Russ.
For me, it's almost, what do I ask first? What do I get to? For a point of clarity, Lisa, you mentioned that you had started an online page. I'm assuming that was Facebook you were talking about. You didn't
Yeah,
specify.
sorry, Facebook group,
and that name of the Facebook group is
Team Blue.
Team Blue. Okay,
Yeah.
good. So I
Um,
wanted to be clear about that. Now, is that open for anybody to join? Is it a closed
Yes,
community?
absolutely. And I can
Okay,
put
so
the thing in the link in
that-
the chat.
perfect. That's the first question I want to ask. The second question is, how do we get one of these bracelets?
Oh, I can send you one. Just message me and I will send you one.
Okay, so those are two just little questions. We're talking about a lot of things here, but we're also talking about the network marketing industry, as George refers to it, as a whole, and our impact on it and our experience with it. And one of the things that I've noticed over the decades is that I think there's part of the misunderstanding about network marketing comes from how it's presented and held. For instance, I've started a new bandwagon, and it's kind of like this challenge. I've been challenging paradigms in the network marketing profession for years now, over 3 decades. And one of the paradigms I want to challenge is that it's an industry. I don't see it as making something really, which is the way I personally think of industry, manufacturing something. It's a system of distribution, and how people, what their relationship to the system of distribution is what creates their success. So this idea that there's network marketing companies out there, which is how we refer to them, I don't think that's so. I think that's an illusion. I don't know of any company that bills itself, not one, as a network marketing company. They bill themselves with their product first, and they utilize network marketing distribution, but they get labeled, that's a network marketing company. And you, as well as anyone, Lisa, could probably relate to the idea that Avon began as a direct sale company, as one of the consummate and most famous of all direct sales companies. I can remember from my childhood, ding dong Avon's calling. I mean, my mother for Christmas would give us Avon products that she bought from our housekeeper, who was an Avon distributor. And so that's one point, is this idea that network marketing is a thing, it's an industry, it's a company, and it's not, it's a system of distribution. And the reason I bring up profession is that you and Jeff, just in this conversation, underscore, illustrate, emphasize profession. Like, how many people would be more proud of what they're doing if they held it as a profession? Okay, so you are profession exemplified. And so that's one of the things that excites me just about what you've even said and talked about so far. I can't wait to get my hands on this book. I really can't. I'm thrilled to be here, and I can't wait to see where this relationship goes. But I think all of us here, we have something that's incumbent upon us as we utilize this system of distribution, as we utilize this profession for our own gain. And that is, it's not an obligation, wouldn't be the right word, but it's incumbent, I think, upon us, and all of us, it's very deep in us, to give back. And one of the ways that we all give back is by challenging the way people think about what they're doing, which you guys have done with humor, with grace, with love. I love the way you described this, Jeff. It was so enrolling, talking about stories. How much do people love stories? Why do you think Mark Victor Hansen's Chicken Soup for the Soul evolved into a million different variations? Chicken soup for the soul for kindergartners, chicken soup for the soul for Martians, chicken soup for the soul for, it's because people love stories. They love stories. And all of us are writing a story. whether we're actual authors of a book or not, we're writing our story. And our story features network marketing distribution, our experience of it. My particular story, my book that I hope to publish in the near future, it'll tell you everything about my 42 years of experience in network marketing. The title is The Skunk at the Lawn Party, because that is high.
That's
I
a
am
great title.
I'm the proverbial skunk at the lawn party. All right, when it comes to network marketing. So again, I've already said too much. I noticed that my friend Dwayne Parsons, also not only a gifted musician, but also an author and someone who is actually cooperating and co-authoring a book with me as we speak, had his hand up a while ago. You've heard enough from Russ Devan. I'm here with all this attention and excitement and enthusiasm and love for what you guys have given and brought to the table today, and I want to thank you for it. Dwayne, you're first. What do you have that you wanted to fire out there to our two incredible guests, Lisa and Jeff?
I've already put it in the chat,
Oh.
my enlistment in your army. And I absolutely want to be there. And because my heart is the same as yours, both of you, but you're far more experienced. I come to you as a sour apple. You know what a sour apple is in this industry. And I'm writing a book right now that I'm titling How Sweet the Sour Apple. And I'm going to finish that book and get it out there, because I've learned already in a very short time from George Madiou and Russ Devan that I've been thinking all wrong, and I'm missing out. And I'm going to be a sweet apple, a crisp, and so that's enough. I'm just saying, I'm just like you guys. I'm just way behind, and I love you. I love you both. Your enthusiasm is tremendous. We all need that in this world right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
By the way,
I would love to hear from you. I know I watch you and you're so attentive and engaged. It's always written on your face. Do you have something you'd like to ask our guests?
Well, my journey into network marketing actually started with Avon, funnily enough, and I love the platform that it enables you to really help grow, especially women who don't even know it's a business yet. They don't even know the possibilities. They've not gone into this sort of like with experience and with the knowledge of how wonderful this can be. They're often mums who are just struggling and just want that bit extra to find out actually they can have a lot more than a bit extra. And it's not just about the money with Avon. A lot of it is about building the confidence and empowering people that they can take charge. And so for me, when I was in that role of leadership, it was a huge part of that was to empower these ladies. And I was actually the top recruiter for North Wales and the second to top leader in North Wales as well, when it came to income and team size and all that kind of stuff. So I loved my journey with Avon. But you made me smile about your kid. So I just wanted to say that just warmed my heart. So I often preach in churches and stuff like that, and the amount of times I've been landed with my children with no babysitter and like preaching with a child underarm or more than one. And I did have babysitters a few weeks ago now, and I turned up with the children, and their answer was, "There's 3." I'm like, yeah, there's 3. And they said, well, what do you want me to do with 3? And I'm like, well, I've survived. Here you go.
That's great.
Needless to say, they've never babysat for me again.
Yeah, that's not what you want to hear when you go.
You're wonderful. Oh my goodness.
So thank you. I've really enjoyed. In the UK, it's now afternoon, so I've really enjoyed this afternoon. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're great. Who has a question they'd like to ask one of our guests or both of our guests? Just put your hand up or wave at me in the camera, whatever you. Yes, go ahead, Peg, please.
So I don't have a question. I just have a testimonial. I was lucky enough to get a copy of the book in advance and have read it, and it is just so phenomenal. I haven't finished my testimonial yet because I've said so much and I need to pare it down. But if you're in network marketing, direct sales of any kind, if you lead a team, this is going to be a game changer of a book. And I know Jeff said earlier today, he hopes it gets remembered for a long time. I think it's going to be remembered for a lifetime, and not just our lifetime, but the kids' lifetimes and beyond and beyond and beyond. It's just so, the 7 laws, like I put in the chat, they're timeless. No matter what has happened since Lisa was 18 till now, the 7 laws that they teach
Small
are, it doesn't matter what the changes are in technology and advances in social media. When Lisa started Avon, they didn't have Facebook, right? And now she's
No.
built an army of 1,000+ people as part of the army, and you know, rocking it out and coloring pictures of Aloha Hawaii, and now the coloring pages of Texas. She's genius in marketing in terms of all the senses. She's putting out recipes for Hawaiian menus, and Jeff's birthday was last week and we learned how to say happy birthday in Hawaiian. And just, you know, talking about a cruise to Hawaii for Team Blue and just all the things. She's just such a great marketer, and I know she's surprising Jeff, and Jeff's parable is terrific. And that, I'll cut myself off because I could go on and on.
No, Dana, that was wonderful, and good luck with your review. I'm sure you'll be able to pare it down. It'll be just fine. Okay, so that's great.
I'm going to step out on a ledge and ask a specific person to chime in if she would, and that's the president. Debbie, will you come off of mute?
That'd be
So,
Deborah's iPhone.
yeah. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be in the doghouse tonight, but
Well, that's a foregone conclusion.
so, you know, the thing is that we are not even coming close to painting the picture of what a legend Lisa is.
Jeez.
You know, I mean, and truly, you know, you rarely find in any profession where you could point to somebody and say, this is a legend in this industry or this profession. And it's so exciting to know Lisa and have her as a friend. I can call her my friend. So tell me, Lisa, now that I've embarrassed you, what is give me some secrets that brought you from 18-year-old girl needing to find something to do, all right, to where you are, where you're internationally known and an expert and somebody that the Network Marketing Magazine is going to end up begging on a monthly basis to add an article from you in there. Tell me what it is that really drives you to help so many people.
I'm speechless for matter of fact, Jeff mentioned I was a legend somewhere, and I decided I'm changing all my stuff to say that. I'm just going to bill myself as a legend. That's so awesome. But you know what's funny is I don't think of myself that way at all. And the thing that I'm trying to do over here is just be a good example. And I've learned everything that I'm doing from my experiences in the industry so far. The reason that I help anybody, whether they're in my downline or not, and I try to always be courteous and gracious when someone comes up and wants a picture or something like that, is because I've gone up to my heroes and had them not be kind to me. And I swore I would never do that because of the way it made me feel. I don't want to make someone else feel like that. So I consciously make an effort when something either really good happens that I want to be more like that, or really bad happens that I take that as a lesson. I don't want to be like that. So I just try to, model my life after that. And as I've gotten older, this theme of mine about being independent and able to support yourself, I know it's not just a female problem, but I see it more play out more in women than I do men. But as I've gotten older, many of my colleagues in direct sales, they'll lose their spouse somehow. Either they'll leave or die or whatever happens. And many of them are suddenly in a big giant crisis because they have not prepared themselves to support themselves, either emotionally or financially. And it's devastating to watch that happen to one of your friends. And I wanted to make sure that would never happen to me. And I want to set a good example and see if I can't get more women, especially, to realize they don't need to go through that crisis. They can prepare themselves to support themselves financially and emotionally. And as you get older, the odds are that you're going to have to at some point, maybe not for long, but everyone in their life is going to have to at some point support themselves 100%. So I just think that's why I don't want to see so many people go through that, I guess. It hurts my heart when I have a friend that really is suffering because she suddenly has to take care of herself. And to me, that's always been something I wanted to make sure I could do, is myself, prepare myself to be on my own. And whether it had to be that way or not, I wanted it to be able to be done. I hope that makes some sense.
It makes perfect sense. And Lisa, I've been blessed to meet and know and work with and learn from real legends, not just in the network marketing space, the direct selling space, but in life. People like when I was 18 years old, on just a total fluke, I had breakfast with Bert Lancaster in Vienna, Austria. I have never met a legend that thought of themselves as a legend. Never. I've never. So I think by nature of who you are and how you're being and how people sense that, and that's what makes people legends, I believe, is that it's not the fame, it's not the accomplishment, it's not the accolades, it's how they are with other people. It's really funny because over and over again, we hear that this is a business about relationships, except as a society and culturally, we've become really lousy at them, and I'm talking about in general. But then someone like you comes along that lives their life out of contribution and relationships, and that's why you show up as a legend. That's why people hold you that way. I don't care whether people think of me as a legend. I certainly don't. But when somebody acknowledges how much I mean to them, or something that I've done for them, or something that I've given to them, isn't that what we're really up to? Is it really about how much money we can make? Because I really don't think it is. I think there's something much more that drives us. And then there's people that say it's not about the money. And of course it's about the money. But my point is, it's about the contribution. And the real legends that I've met in my life, to a person, it was always about their relationship to somebody else and their relationship to people and what they could contribute to the difference they could make. So anyway, I mean that as an acknowledgement. So
I want to make sure that we don't leave Jeff out.
No. Well, she said she was with Jeff. How'd you like to be with Jeff?
Yeah. Well, this show started off with George, and then that's how Russ said, "Okay, I'll be the with."
Yeah.
So,
with George.
Give us your input, Jeff.
Well, in doing this book, it's so interesting. It fits in so many industries. My background is actually in insurance. I was with a Fortune 500 insurance company, and I was the state manager in the Houston, Texas area. And all of our agents were independent contractors. None of them worked for us. It was just like, it was very similar to multi-level in many ways. And as we're writing these books, there's some of my personality that comes in, some of Lisa's personality that comes in, but we're both thinking, what would we want people who are getting started or who are having to make some life choices, what would we want them to get from what we're doing here, from the work? And so it began that way. And we actually, it's interesting, we took the main character, Kai, on a journey that started where she didn't think she would be in sales at all, had no interest in it. And that decision starts to change. And then the support system she has is there. Belle coaches her on how to pick companies. I mean, it was just, it is truly something that I think we can look back on, both of us, and be very proud of it. It's just, and it's got some great lessons in there from both of us on that. So
That's awesome. Yeah, the thing is, I spoke with the person yesterday, and she's new to this profession. And she just said, I'm not a salesperson. I said, well, why would you need to be? I said, you've got experience. She goes, no, I don't. I said, was it 3 children you have or 4? She goes, no, just 3. I said, and you've never had to sell them on something? We started right there, and it's as easy as that, as long as your heart is in it, One of the things that I'm really excited about, this is going to sound strange. It's not the thing I'm excited about. Russ is going to be away next week on a business trip because what he and I do, this is not business. This is like a fun trip. But he's not going to be co-host on the George Madiou show. And so I ended up asking for a replacement for you, Russ, next week. And Lisa agreed to be the co-host of the George Madiou show next week.
Yay.
And so
I just lost a job.
yeah, you might have permanently.
Lost a job.
So what's exciting about it is not only having Lisa as the co-host of the George Madiou show next week, but the fact that we get to talk about number 2, the second in this exciting story of Said the Lady with the Blue Hair. And if I can talk her into dyeing her hair as the co-host, well, you're going to have to just show up next Wednesday at the same time. But what I would suggest is if you're a team member, grab other team members and come on to the show next week. We're actually going to end up, yeah, right. We want everybody to have a
George, it might be good to mention that
I was just going to do that.
New location, special location for next
Right.
week will not be. Okay, I didn't. I figured you were.
Yeah. So what happens is that I'm so excited about this new heights that we're going to be reaching, having Lisa on 2 weeks in a row and Jeff, all right? And we're going to have plenty ways of being able to go ahead and get the word out. As a matter of fact, Em, if you could say that next week it's going to be on aimhighzoom.com. All right. And it's going to be same thing, 12 noon Eastern, and on Wednesday, aim high, because if you can't get high on what Lisa and Jeff has, you're I don't know.
Dead.
You've got a situation where I think Walmart is really looking for help right now. So
we have an old saying back where I grew up in Georgia that says, if you can't get fired up about this, your wood is too wet to burn.
that's right.
I love that.
That's right.
I've never heard that.
The Southern gentleman speaks.
So go ahead, Dwayne.
Well, there, Will there be a password for that?
No.
I'll just go
No.
to
Yeah.
aimhighzoom.com.
aimhighzoom.com. It was funny the last time we used
Don't
that.
want to miss that.
Yeah. But the last time we used that was for a guest from Europe. Boy, I started getting people come into that room from 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock the night before, all the way to 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock the night after.
Yeah, an hour later, an hour early.
Yeah. So anyway, what do you want to leave us with, Lisa?
Well, I guess it's just that the thing that's worked for me over all this time is persistence. You know what I mean? I couldn't outsmart people. I'm just not that smart. I'm not stupid, but I'm not that smart. I couldn't out beautiful them. I mean, I'm not a troll, but I'm not gorgeous. The thing that I can do is be persistent in my work. So I can work my hardest and be persistent and do it every single day. And I think that's how we get everything done, including get the word out about this book and build a direct sales business and anything else that you want in your life is be persistent.
Well, I'm going to leave you with just a tag on to that. You are persistent and you're also consistent.
Yeah.
And this week marks our 17th year in the Network Marketing Magazine, our 17th anniversary, starting our 18th year. And it wasn't because of brilliance. I mean, it was a long 17 years, but we never missed a first of the month, any month in 17 years. And I think that's the reason why we became friends and have stayed friends all this year, because we have so much of the same core values. And I love you. You're the greatest.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad, Jeff, that you have teamed up with Lisa, because you both make such a great team. So
I sure do.
It's been
Anyway,
a joy.
thank you all for being here. Spread the word. Little Miss Love, thank you for being there too. And so we'll see you next Wednesday, and we're going to have episode number 2 in this great story of Said the Lady with the Blue Hair. Thanks so much,
Yeah.
everyone.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone. God bless you.